I think creating content is one of the most vulnerable things that you will do. You are
good content.
good content.
But see, if you're creating
Bad content.
yeah, if you're creating content and it's
the
not
judge?
risky or making you feel vulnerable, then I
Then
would
it's
say
boring.
it's not good content.
Okay, Gayle, let's just start at the beginning really quickly.
Okay.
How did we get connected?
Well, I stalked you on LinkedIn. Yes. I
But how did you find me?
Okay. So I was on LinkedIn looking for other female founders of B2B marketing agencies.
Oh, I
Truly.
didn't know that.
Yes. So I was looking for other women that I could talk to figure out how the hell am I supposed to do this thing that I've decided I'm doing?
Yeah.
I don't really know. I'm kind of making it up, right? So I went on LinkedIn and I was looking around and I landed upon a LinkedIn Live that you did with your clients who have what's the name of their thing? Have a podcast, content marketing.
Don't say content.
Don't say content.
Yeah, with Devin and Kelsey.
Margaret.
Yeah.
Devin and Margaret, right?
Margaret Kelsey. Yes.
Oh.
My brain just...
Why I remember that her name is Margaret.
Yeah, well, you fixed it.
I do remember
Don't-
because
that
I
would make
thought,
me feel
oh,
so
what do you
bad.
think? She's a Margaret. Anyway, so I watched this episode that you did or this LinkedIn Live with Devin and Margaret.
Yeah.
And I truly thought, podcast. Like if they can do it, why not me? Mm-hmm. And so that's when I started to stalk you on LinkedIn.
Love
Then
that.
I thought, let me see what Rachel's all about. And I was reading your posts and I was looking at videos. And then I DM'd you.
Yeah.
And I was super nervous. Like I was asking you out on a date. Meanwhile, I'm like, hi, can we have a discovery meeting? Like,
Yeah.
Can you pitch me? And I was nervous. Yes, that's how we met.
Yes. So I asked that question because I think part of the opportunity and the power behind creating content consistently is like making those connections in sort of this like parasocial world that we live in. And then I think that LinkedIn is such a special place where you can actually break down that wall and connect with people in a meaningful way. So I love our origin story. So I thought I would start there.
Well, can I say one thing
Please
about
do.
LinkedIn? Because I'm
Yeah.
sure you hear it and
Yeah.
I hear it and I feel it when I'm on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
What I would say or caveat that is that LinkedIn is a really special, great place if you do it well.
If you do it well.
Right. And so the
100%.
fact that you were
But
out
what
there
we do it well.
being-
Like
obviously
together.
Obviously you do it well. I share your genius and I think I do it well. It's like you're real and you're honest. And so I actually did get a sense of who you were. So
Yeah.
when we met, I met the person I thought I was going to meet. It wasn't like this
Oh.
disjointed situation, right?
Yeah.
And I know that's what I try to do. That's what we try to help our clients do. Because if you're not doing it that way, then you're just putting filler out there and people are just, nobody wants to see that.
So I want to talk about that for a second. So from your perspective and the clients that you work with and even yourself, like how do you think people get to that spot where they're able to show up online the way that they would show up offline?
First thing is you've got to have guts. You cannot, I mean, you were just telling me before you're an introvert. Like you've got to push yourself out of your comfort zone. So it's something you can learn, but you have to do things that make you uncomfortable. I will say time and time again, anytime I have hit post and I have been really nervous to do it, it's gone really well. And when I say gone really well, I mean, like I've made connections with people because of what I posted, right? It's not about getting a million likes, but people would actually reach out and be like, oh my God, thank you for saying that. Or that was so brave. And like, that only has happened to me when I'm doing something that has made me uncomfortable.
I love that it requires guts. So let's talk about the requirement of guts for launching like a podcast. What was your journey like there and coming to the decision that you wanted to do that? And then obviously we had a chance to work together on that, but walk me through your thinking to get to that spot.
Sure. Yeah. So for me, actually, I wanted to do the podcast first as more of a personal project. And while I was working with you and the team, it was just sort of obvious, like, oh my God, I have to do a podcast for my business. That makes so much sense. So I did it in the reverse order than I think you actually should. I think every business should actually have a podcast if they're working with you. True story, because I've been on podcasts where they're not working with you, and that's not a great
You
experience.
can tell?
There's such a difference.
Tell me the
in
difference.
the podcast experience. So yeah,
Okay.
so what I will say is immediately when we started working together, it was clear to me that I didn't need to be an expert in podcasting, right? I could come to you and I had an idea and you and the team were like, we get it. First of all, I couldn't believe like how quickly you got it. You got in my brain, figured out what I wanted to do, right? And it felt really natural and easy. And you understood how podcasting could actually help my business. And that's why I thought, well, gosh, I have to do this for my business also, right? There are a lot of people that are doing podcasts, and sure, they're putting out podcasts, but they're not creating an experience. And one thing I think that is important, that is not just about podcasts, but one thing that makes marketing really effective is if you are thinking about the experience a person is having, your potential buyer, with your marketing, no matter what that is. Is that your website? Is that your podcast? Is that the sales experience? Is that when they're interviewing, right? Like you want anyone who's interacting with your business to have an experience that reflects your brand, right? And so if you decide, well, we're going to do a podcast, no problem. We can get the technology, we can edit it super quick with AI, we can get the shows up. Yes, you can do that. But what they're missing, and I say I've experienced this as a guest, is the experience. There's a person who comes, they're on a podcast, it gets thrown up on LinkedIn maybe once, and that's it. That's like getting an MQL and then never following up with a salesperson, right? Like you need to ensure that your podcast is a perfect experience in my view.
Well, and it's an extension of your brand. So whether it's from a personal perspective or a business perspective, like I think that's one of the things that I like to really hone in with our clients is like, how do you want people to experience your brand? Because your show should be a container for that. And honestly, it should be an amplifier for that. So I love that that's kind of like what you've honed in on specifically. I also have a pet peeve. This is just total tangent, but I have like a pet peeve when I go on LinkedIn and people are like, I got approved for $200 so I can get a Riverside account. And now I'm going to launch a podcast. And I'm like, then you actually are fighting with the sameness of all the content that's getting created and that idea of everybody has a podcast, we have podcast saturation, whatever. It's like, actually we have content saturation, and your quality of experience, quality of output, quality of conversation, all of that is so much more critical in this age of too much content. And so when I see things like that, I'm like, you're missing the point. The point is not that you have a Riverside account and now you can launch a podcast. The point is you're creating an experience that helps people connect with your brand in a way that ultimately drives revenue.
It's bonkers to me that somebody would take the opportunity to talk with someone in real life and not treat that like a precious commodity, right? Because if you're hosting a podcast and you're recruiting guests, you're getting them on, you're putting out that content, or you're using your podcast as part of your sales funnel, right? All of that is well and good. But what are we trying to do in marketing? Cut through the noise, right? Why are we trying to cut through the noise? Because we actually want to talk to people in real life. You've actually got somebody right there talking to you in real life. That should be the most important experience, right? That's the gold that we're looking for. So why would that be the thing that you just sort of slap AI on, right? And just go from there. It just seems really short-sighted.
Yeah, I wish everyone thought the way you thought, because that feels different. Like even that idea of take the podcast word out of it, take the what can I do with the content afterward, take the strategy out of it, and just anchoring in the fact that we are so hungry for that human connection, that human opportunity. And this is a moment that matters because you've gotten the opportunity to do that and to not cherish it and use it in a way that ultimately drives further connection between just the two people is a really interesting reframe. So let me ask you this question.
Okay.
In our experience working together, was there anything, and by the way, tomorrow you can tell the dirt, but for this, we'll keep it light. We'll keep it clean. But was there anything that was unexpected in working together?
It was really unexpected to me how strategic you were from the outset. That Because like I said, I came to you thinking, hey, why not me? I'd love to do a podcast. So I really didn't have any concept of what that was going to look like. And what really surprised me was how you showed up to that first session asking such good questions that made me think and figure out, yeah, why am I doing this? What am I actually trying to achieve? Is it mass numbers, right? Is it conversations with prospective clients, et cetera, et cetera? Truly, that was totally surprising to me. And I would say if anyone's thinking, should I invest in getting help with my podcast or do it myself, go be a guest on a bunch of podcasts. You'll figure it out just through your own experience. Because like I said, now that I've been a guest on a lot of podcasts, it's just the experience and what you get out of it has everything to do with the person who's asking you questions, right? Who's facilitating the discussion on the podcast, but then also what kind of value are they getting after? And the fact that, you're giving us all this content that we can use to promote our podcast, but also for the guest. Because what's everybody's biggest constraint? It's their time. So why are they going to do a podcast? Why are they going to get on with you? So that really helps too.
So I love the idea of people try before you buy. And it's sort of like, instead of hiring a freelancer or putting it together, actually going on other podcasts to identify what works, what's not working, what you like, what you don't like. I also find that the thing that I've found that is a little bit frustrating when we think about missed opportunities with people who are leveraging podcasts is, one, you can tell when the host is not present or prepared. And I think like the guest can feel that experience, and I think the audience can experience that experience, and they can see it in the quality of the content that comes from it. So it would be like red flag number one. If you're not able to be present for the conversation, like, don't have it. And then the second thing that I'm curious is, when you think about whether it is successful or not, how do you define success for what you're doing with the show?
Well, I have 2 shows. So they are different, like the success metrics are different for me. So my one show, Marketing in Progress, the goal of that show is, there are a couple of goals, but it is number one, to create content for our target audience, right? For marketing leaders, to be helpful and help them be better at their jobs. And we do that through these conversations with other marketing leaders so that they can learn from each other. The second is to identify potential clients. So if we're having a conversation and we say, wow, like, what are you struggling with? Or what do you feel that you're really good at? All of those things. And then there are ways that we might be able to work together and help each other. I also really just love to learn all the time. And I find that for me, the way I do that best is through interaction. Like, yes, I can read books and I can look at content, but I just get much more out of conversations. So personally, as the owner of a business, it sort of forces you into that situation where you're having conversations that you need to prepare for and you need to be smart about and you need to be present. When so much of our day we're multitasking and doing 1,000 things, it really, I think, helps me professionally as well. Work in Progress, totally different kind of show. I mean, I love how you say that is the space where Gayle gets to be human. And it's actually not specific to work. It's really about the fact that we all are a work in progress and changing and evolving all the time. And that really, for me, has been, I feel like what I get out of that show is more valuable for me than even the numbers. But yes, would I like that to become something that is big and can really help lots and lots of women who are struggling with all of the things that we're juggling? Yes. But so, like, that's not really succinct. I'm bad at succinct.
No. I mean, honestly, there's a couple things that you're looking at as what success looks like for you. So, like, one, I think everyone should have a way that they can learn constantly in a way that's like meaningful for them. Like, I even go on some podcasts, like we have a few clients that I actually still live produce them because I learned so much by just doing that because of the person that is in the room. So like, I still do that, even though, should I still be doing that? I don't know, but it helps me so much as a leader and somebody who's constantly trying to learn. So it's like that piece. The second thing is the content you're creating obviously allows you to sharpen your point of view, build authority, gain credibility. You're in the room with the people who could buy from you or already buy from you. So you're deepening that relationship. You're maximizing the moment, leveraging their time in a way that's beneficial to both of you. And then the other piece is like the work in progress of it all. That's part of a larger vision for you. And I think you've just created a really nice media brand, honestly, with these two shows that one serves your business directly, one serves it indirectly, but it's still part of the larger opportunity that you see in the marketplace for you and like where you're going as a person. Because we're not just our businesses, we are all the things. And so I think that you've done a really beautiful job of basically taking your passion, which is your business, but also like who you are becoming, the journey you've been on. And it's such a testament to what you said at the very beginning of our conversation, which is like, it takes guts. And I think creating content is one of the most vulnerable things that you will do. You are
good content.
Good content.
But see, if you're creating
Bad content.
yeah, if you're creating content and it's not risky or making you feel vulnerable, then I would
it's
say
boring.
it's not good content.
Then it's boring.
Even for B2B.
Spicy. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, last question.
I don't care.
From the client study of it all. Was you kind of mentioned it, but I want to ask it directly in case something else comes to mind. Is there a wow moment in working together?
I truly could not believe the first meeting I had with you and Cassidy and how good you two are. Truly, because like I said, I didn't have any expectation and I sort of said, hey, so here's what I want to do. And this was about work in progress. It is about who I am as a person and what I want to do and create a legacy. And it's such a personal thing for me. And I felt so comfortable just telling you guys exactly what I thought and the way you respected what it was I wanted to do and then made it better. Like made a vision that wasn't even in my own head. And the speed at which you do these things at Share Your Genius is quite miraculous. Yeah, you guys are fast, which is amazing because I have no patience. So that's great.
Well, thank you. You are a Gayle force.
Oh, yes, that's right.
That was the subject line when I sent you the proposal. Wasn't it that?
Yeah. I'm like, she's good at this marketing thing. Yeah. Your proposal said
A Gayle force or Gayle win.
Yeah,
something.
you're really good at the subject lines. I think about you when I'm writing emails. I'm like, what would Rachel put in the subject line? She's really good at that.
You know my trick for subject lines?
Because you're a millennial.
Maybe it's because I'm a millennial. No, the way I do my subject lines, real talk, is the first thought that comes to my mind, I write down.
Okay.
And that's my subject line.
That's
and I
very
send
good.
it. First thought, best thought. And this is our last thought. So, Gayle, thank you. And
thank
let's
you.
go create with more people. Well, I think just from a personal level, when we first started together, it was like, I constantly said this, but it was like you were writing pages in a diary I never wrote.
Yeah.
And the way you articulated just like the experiences that you had and all of that, that's what this channel and this medium is all about, is like creating content in a way that ultimately it changes people's lives because you're the brave one. And thank you for being brave. And thank you for sharing a little bit of your story.